But it's basically like a bunch of really good tubes.
Yeah.
They're all super narrow. Yeah. Unless you hear they like double in value.
Yeah.
You can't really budget for that. You're assuming like property tax costs for the year, like you can, you should be able to expect your. Yeah, it would pay for that. It's pretty lightweight. But I tell you what.
I'm thinking all.
It's.
They're all.
I felt like it's almost still. We were one.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's
Great for me.
And every tiny yard. You're not gonna be wrong, I don't maintain a yard. But sometimes
Will be wrong.
And we went from 4 to 6. I do think it's funny that there's like a strip club right outside. We've been. Or in the strip club. There's like that really expensive furniture store that has like they don't, so I can't remember what it is, and then there's some sort of like so small that building or something like it. Yeah. It's like right before. It's right before you exit and then turn right. So on 30. It is 30. Yeah. Yes.
Well,
Let's take it.
Because they have shoes.
Okay,
This was talking about.
Really?
so let's,
That's really funny.
okay, so let's start our class for today. If you still remember like last lab we did, so I'm showing you, we have 3 types of XSS attack. So do we remember? So what are the 3 attacks? So one's called a reflector, and then store, and last one is the DOM. So last time I forgot to put the comments I forgot to close it, so I couldn't execute. So this time I will show you the last one will be the DOM. So it will affect your the web browser. So when you try to execute, like running as a local host, so it's showing you the welcomes. But if I try to inject a script right here, but this time it's not really say pop-up alert, but I will modify the content by just I try to insert something to your website. Like I'm not changing like execute some command put out or like do something like much more like a function, but I modify your web page content. So this one is called DOM. Okay. So this one you can see there's a hashtag if you know something about web programming. So if you pay attention to sometimes if you click on the website, especially for one-page website, when you click on the button, let's say they have called the homepage, about us, contact us, maybe certain information. Actually, it's just whole page, but they put different tag. The tag will be marking the location of this block content. Okay, so once you click on it, you jump to second content. So it's the same idea. So you can see the right here. So we try to insert certain content. So you can put anything. So it's taking this feature of the web page content. So we can try to insert. So if let's say you want to inject a link, let's say I try to make a hyperlink, or I say, okay, you can purchase from this link, then you can do it this way. So we can try to inject something like this content, and then we direct the user or some customer to another website. So then, okay, this is our official website, or like this is the original website, and then okay, maybe it direct me to another website for purchase, or you say you can make the layout like the UI looks like very similar to say original website like that, maybe the store, and then pretend it's the same one. Yeah, but it's just like because it's pretty common in behavior. It's like if I want to show my company information, I have a called a home website. But if I want to purchase, or I want to like let the user to purchase selling some goods or products, that I will create another website to selling my stuff, right? And then maybe we have a dashboard to manage my devices, and then we have another one. So this like sometimes we will cause a problem like this. So here's an example is pretty easy. So I just right here you will see I just try to return maybe to others you maybe it's too small. Let me enlarge it this part. Okay. So mainly we will the whole structure is just the HTML tag. So stuff I'm here, head, and then title, everything's the same. So mainly is the document. So we add the event listener. So we will right here, and then we have a function, and then we will add the function will assign the location hash substring. So we will add a user, and because we try to put the ID output right here. So if we didn't put any output, then it's just like welcome. But we pass it by the hashtag hash and then input any content, then we will inject to the DOM. But of course, sometimes you say if I do it in this way, then maybe it's really easy to hack, but you will never know why we try to leave a function like this, or it depends on your website, or it depends on your design, or even like our store or the reflector one. So that's why the hacker, like attacker, always try to try different way because they want to looking for any possible. So we always like all this will be called a threat. So it's a potential creating this. So they will have some like called a tweets. So that's what they did. So we will try to attack it. So based on the design structure, everything, we have potential like they can hack into our system. So just like it's just one of the example. Right now we already go through the SQL injection and also the XSS attack for the cybersecurity. So what do we need to do? I create a project from the group. So here's a one thing. Yeah, I know maybe not all of you have like have experience like working on programming, and also maybe also this class is not focused on programming. But if I want to let you to work on this part, so I will let you you can try to just form a group. So maybe around different our class are around different. So you can try to maybe form like 2 to 3 together, so you can work together. First thing I give you all the sample code, right? So you can upload all the sample codes to the server. So maybe if you are forming like 2 people or 3, so just pick up a representative and then use one server to upload all this source code. So the first step is upload all this source code and try to make sure it's like executed. So you need to combine all maybe all these together. And after then you can try a different path. This is step 1. So try to create the thread. So what's the potential risk? So like for the injection or like for the store XSS, all this possible. And then second step is like you need to modify the content. I actually all the upload the source code you will see. I'll upload another one's for how can I defend or like protect my server. So you can change like enhance it or just so you have a reference, you can directly apply it, but later I will give you the like project details, and then you need to prepare the like documents. Say okay, then why is like what's the possible reason, and how can we prevent it, and then how can you categorize all this like just like go through everything we did, and then you can just like have some modify. So if you're really like good at programming, you're welcome to like change more details, like make it more secure, like protect your server. But you say, okay, that's we are not really good at programming. We don't know what Node.js. We don't know familiar with SQL injection. And also actually, for SQL injection is hard because even you try to post it, the SQL or the MySQL or MongoDB actually itself, they actually from the version 1 till now, they already did some protection. So you cannot say easily, I want to do the injection. So also they would do the checking. So you may not able to test it, but you like based on the theory. Okay. We are not professional teams like hacker try to hack on everything. But you can try to just simulate, but like based on the theory I mentioned in there, then just give an example. And so, okay, why it's not working anymore? Then we can discuss like in your project. So that's what you need to do. So for the project part, and actually for the project, just like putting all these like possible tweets, per se that looking for the possible threat and then what the tweets can like hack into your system, and then how can we prevent it? So for this class, really important is that increase your awareness and then just like pay attention. Okay, how can we prevent it? Okay. So this one is the part of it for the DOM. Then I can show you. Actually, when we modify you can compare a little because I already upload the source. Did I? Let me see. Maybe not yet. Not yet. Okay, so I will upload all this and then actually I will attach it as a one file for your project so you can download all these things and then try to upload. So for you, maybe you need to study like how to put the file on the server, and also in the lab I will cover it. So don't worry, like I will tell you like step by step how to put all these things, but always encourage before I like show you how to do it. I already like recommend you can try to do it by yourself. Right? Always study and looking for like some online resources, and then I will show you how to actually do it. And we can change the content like hash substring user and then get the user output. And we just like try to make sure like here is like we put the inner HTML, get ID, and then we just like text content. So if we change the keyword a little bit, like this one just like text content, then we can avoid this one. So you can try to execute and then you will see the difference. Okay, yeah. So that's one. I already give you the source code. It's like one of solutions to protect it. You can use it, but you need to explain why it's working. Okay, you need to study why we can prevent it. Okay, so it's the part of it. Okay. Then we can start our okay. And for today, actually I didn't prepare for the Tuesday. I think we have no class, so I will just like put part of it for the lab will be for today. So I'll show you. Good talk. Sometimes I mentioned was the DOS, right? So it's a denial of service attacks. So this one is mainly to make the service unavailable to its the intent user by like overwhelming its traffic. So we have like two types, one's DOS or like called the DDoS. Pretty common is called a distributed denial of service. DDoS maybe is a pretty common terms. Okay, so you see the definition. So what's it? Because sometimes I did mention about this one before. So anybody can share like again or what's DDoS? Mainly we should talk about DDoS.
It's kind of like, usually it's overwhelming, traffic, like a network or a website and signing up for serving or it's meant for. What the process, it's so busy trying to take in all of that traffic.
Okay.
It's not able to process within more traffic.
Definition or like in the analytic. Yeah, I giving some example. Then practically, then how can we?
I know that the really different from DOS and DOS and distributed, you know, like widespread, so you
Mhm.
they would with that, I'm pretty sure, like they can use. Write a bunch of virtual machines or something, and if they all send a bunch of servers, that server and processing and so how they process that.
Yeah, so that's what I say, like this more like actually, so these are different videos. That's why we call distributed. So we are using multiple client, we say client or like I mean, it can be most of the time maybe other virtual server. Pretty common. If you host a server, you may be have experience. You say, okay, somebody hacked your server, and then they will try to inject a file, or it's a batch, like it's a script. So they will just keep executing. So what they do, just keep pinging. Like ping is a pretty easy if you know the network for the communication. If you know the we call the handshake, or like we need to check the alive of the actually it's just like taking the policy of it. So it's one of common attacks. I don't want to steal your information. For this attack that I don't have to really steal your information, but I want to make your service die. Okay, so here's a issue because when we have a policy or mechanism, okay, if I call your name, you will reply me. So the same way. So when you reply me, then you need to spend your time, right? To reply me your resources. And if in the same time, I have 10 people to calling your name, then you have to reply to 10 people. Okay, you cannot say, I don't want to. So it depends your mechanism. Okay, some of them, they didn't reply to it, or this is what we learn is, okay, if I need to handle all this, most of the time your CPU, well, I'm taking example, it's just 100. But I have like 1,000 of a zombie computer server doing this. And then when I ping it, actually I can send the package within 1 second. Maybe I can send 100 or 500 package to you. Okay. Then you will use like 100% of your resources like CPU, your bandwidth, everything on responding the ping. Then can you handle the normal request? Like let's say if you're a regular customer, then you have no way. So your server, let's say, is just a website. Maybe you are selling a ticket for a concert. If I don't want to let you to buy it, I will just keep paying your server. Okay, so then your server, most of the resources they spend on like replying to the ping, then you are not able to serve other regular customers. So that's the purpose. So you will see the target. That's why we call the web server, network, or application. Yeah, if you don't, if something really bad. Okay, let's say if you want to make the school server down, or like you want to make a traffic check, okay, you can put 1,000 of computer VM and keep pinging the school IP right here. Then you can try to do that. Yeah, and all the students will suffer this one because when the bandwidth like mainly served for the ping, then maybe actually it's a two-way. Then that means you don't have a bandwidth to let you have a package to go out by access. Yeah, so all the students here will suffer the issue. Okay, so you can try it. I don't know. I don't know if one day the police come to knock your door then. Just study purpose. Okay, okay. So okay, yeah. So that's why with DDX OS, what is do the mechanism is just flooding the target with the XSS request. So we just like exploiting the application vulnerabilities to crash the service. That's how they did. One of the attack vectors, one is the called the network layer. So the sync SYN and or the application layer attack. So you know we have two types. So another one is called the HTTP. And we just like need to know, okay, if we say DOS, just like single source, just from one computer and then doing the ping. And actually this one is not, it's okay, but it's not powerful. So that's why most of the time we say that DDoS is a multiple source. Then we can do it more like in the same time. So we can using the multiple components of devices like to amplify the attack. So that is the purpose why we're using something, we try to amplify it. And then we consume the server resources, CPU, memory, all these things. That's how it works. So mainly for this attack, so as what we say, the introvert service. So we lost the revenue, customer trust, and reputation or damage, like long-term effect on the brand reputation. That's what you want to do. Like if you make your website is not always able to access, they think, okay, what happened to this company? Or thinking, okay. Also increase the cost, like for the expense of the mitigation and recovery, potential legal fee, all these things. So like here, actually it's really happening. So this why give you some example. If you look at GitHub 2018, so they also have DOS. So that one the peak is 1.3 TPS is terabyte. So you know this one the T, right? Okay. Why now if the concept is thinking 1.3, will you know the one has 2 terabyte, 1 terabyte for storage SSD, if you know this one T. But be careful, this one is called a BPS. It's a small letter B. Yeah. So for the network, anybody know the math? I think I asked this question before, but still anybody remember what's the large B and smaller B?
Bytes versus bits.
Yes, yeah. So if you look at this, like, what's the difference if I put like
Capital would be like a terabits per second.
So maybe I need to change it. Maybe I need to divide it by 8. Yeah, because byte will be 8. 8 bits equals to 1 byte. Okay, yeah, but we are not asking for this one. So just to let you know the information. We mainly using because for 1 second, how many bits? The reason why we're using a small bit because 1 bit is just a signal, a voltage like on off, right? So no, that's why so it's more makes sense, like 1 second, how many bits sending out the signal going out. So you know, all of us like really especially for developer, we highly rely on the GitHub. So once it suffer the issue like this, actually the GitHub service down. So I cannot, maybe I'm not able to like clone my stuff and I cannot push it to them. So really affect a lot. So how can we doing scaling, or like how can we do the protection that we need to think about? So you see, so right here, this one like major website, like Twitter, Netflix, and then the one, oh maybe you didn't hear about that, Estonia. So also it's attacked for the government, banking, media website, and like this. Put it a lot so you can see the details, but we don't have to. And also this one is emphasized mainly is a DNS service. So we have different way, and then maybe some of them maybe cover the cyber security right here. Just learning, we have different tweaks and then try to protect because the structure environment we create is a possible threat for them to attack. So always try to lower the risk. So right here, I just create a simple server. So let you see. Okay. Right now running my server right here on this side. Starting it. I just do it gently to my server. Okay. This one is just a simulation. I don't want to consume my computer's service too much, the resources too much. So this one is a simulation. So you can write a script, just let it execute 24/7, like forever, like keep sending the ping package. And also maybe in the beginning we need to detect maybe let's say that server. That's why sometimes if you really want to do this type of attack, we need to check the mechanism, like what the policy for this server. Sometimes they will limit the ping frequency. Like let's say within 1 second, how many pings we are going to reply, or like I would detect, is it from the same IP source? If I receive a ping from same IP source like so many times, maybe I would just like reject to reply. So that's why you say in theory, they say okay, we will consume. So that's why how can you protect? Like lots of server website they already did in this way. It's like okay, maybe for first time, second time, third times, it maybe makes sense. But if I keep on receiving the ping like within 1 second or like 1 minute over a certain amount or frequency, then I will stop replying. So that's how it works. But this one is like kind of simulation. So you see when you try to send a ping right here, so I will see like complete 100 and then 200, 300, 400, like right here, this way. So total 1,000 requests to my own server, and then it's a 14 byte. And just like total transfer right here, so I times 1,000 right here. And then just like connecting time is pretty short, so it's really fast, and then resources minimum. So or you can also try to execute and run on your server. I may not, let me see. I can show you. Let me show you the source code of this one. Right here. If you still remember, we have two different type of DOS, right? Two layers. One is the network, one is the HTTP. So this one we are simulate on the HTTP. So you'll see we just create a server and then return the 200 the status code, and that's it. And just start the server. So this one is just a really simple server. I just running and listen to it. And because I want to test things for the ping. So right here is really nothing special, just like return a regular reply. And then I just sending a ping. So you can follow this command copy. So if you want, you can try to run on your server or like your local host if you want to test the result. And then based on this one, so we will see how it so right here, so it's just like one of the Apache benchmark tools we can validate. So you see all the information to check it. So right here, I will specific how many total number of requests to perform. So you can see I just put 1,000. So you just will see, and then I say like the C is the concurrent level. So it means like 100 requests will be made at the same time. So that's why I send it and then simulate multiple users to access. So you see right here, that's why you will see every time I sending like 100 requests, 10 times. Okay. And local just our target. So I just like testing for my own computer. So you will see it finished pretty quick. If I sending like 1,000, that means 10 times 100 requests, total 1,000. You can see it complete. If we need to let the server down, especially when the website right now we are saying that maybe I'm using 2-core CPU or 4-core CPU, one server, maybe the RAM. So you need to know how many requests we need to send, or like how many zombie server we need to use to make the server down. Okay. And I don't know if like maybe the news is coming out. Maybe if you know the election is coming soon, so maybe you know the website. If you pay attention, actually you will maybe there's some news we talk about like some countries, and then some of the countries sending like hackers team try to like make the server service down or steal certain information. Suppose that there's some suppose every election that even other countries do, they will say okay, there's some hackers team like from other country, they will try to do something. So you will know. And when we try to simulate, you will see like the server response will like try to handle 1,000 requests concurrently. So up to 100 requests that we see. So if we don't try to handle this one, then it will struggle to process them all. Okay. So the unresponsiveness. So if the resources, let's say, is overwhelming, then it may become responsive. Then when users try to access the server, may experience long wait time or timeout. So it's pretty common issue. So when we try to do an attack, then how can we do that or prevent? So something is like increase the latency. So how can we do that by the latency? Just like some requests are processed, then the response time will likely increase significantly due to the high volume concurrent connection. So just like server like slow down, okay, or like potential crash. So it's like poor config or lack of sufficient resources. It may crash or lead to the complete service outage. So everything right here. Then based on this one, like for protection. And we have still more, you can just, for your information, just like if you can remember, one is called the rate limit. So rate limit is like to restrict the number of requests of a kind. So with a certain time frame, that's why we set the time. And we can use, let's say we have using the express right here. I will share this. You're able to see all this source code, but I just like take out a part of it, so you will see right here. So I can set a limit. So I can say, let's say I can let them for 1 minute, or like for same IP, maximum is like for within 1 minute, I only accept 100 requests. Okay. So you say, how can I just like do limited to like, let's say 1 request per 1 minute? Is it possible? Or do things make sense? Based on your understanding, can I make it lower? Just like higher time frame, but lower maximum. Can we do it in this way? Then it's really safe, right? I can make it 1 hour, 1 request. Do you think it's possible?
Isn't that? So, one of the things that we're talking about is also for security purposes. Botnets. So if somebody had multiple IPs, would they still be able to get through?
Yeah, as an attacker, you can. So that's why we need to, and also that is a reason why DDoS is more common from multiple kind, because you set the limit to, let's say, from one source, right? Then I have even right here. So each IP I maximum set it to 100. So if I have 1 million, like that can join me computer and ping it. So I can do this. But how about why not if I have a question asking, let's say, because I can set the limit. So we talk about the rate limit. So we can limit, that's like what I say in the beginning. I can limit the time, or like when we receive a request. And then I can set the time frame. How within this time frame, how many maximum requests I will handle. So let's say if like this we just pushing to extreme. Maybe I could say this 1 day or like 1 hour, only maximum 1 package. So do you think is a good practice? No. Oh, but it's really safe, right? Only 1 quick. Right. Yes. Oh, I make it. Yeah. So, but in practical, it's impossible. The reason why if you access, we need to think about, or like when we doing this type of setting. In actual, let's say I have a website. How many requests are you going to send within 1 minute? Within same IP set, same IP address.
Assuming you're gonna open it, you're gonna interact with it.
Yeah.
Every time you do something, it's.
Yeah, at least like, maybe at least like this. Maybe when you send them request, but not only 1 time. Okay, maybe you say, okay, I just click 1 button. But in behind, maybe you have a multiple service, your multiple If you learn something web programming and then maybe cloud, okay. So in behind, actually, I have multiple requests will be sending. Not only like if you look at it, it's just a web, maybe the Chrome, maybe Edge. You just look at this web page, but in behind when we're sending so many requests, so actually it's more than that. So maybe we need to handle it. So we need to make a balance. So there's no definite solutions that, okay, you should like put this number or like within this time frame, how many requests. So we always try to address. So sometimes we need to do like auditing and checking. Maybe this 100 maybe makes sense. Like within 1 minute is impossible. Like, if it's just a regular request, let's say this one is the HTTP layer. So it's a website. So kind of impossible for user clicking. Even you try to click on the pages, keep on like switching the pages, it's impossible. Sending more than 100 requests within 1 minute, right? So then it will more make sense. Sometimes when you like click on another button, it already take 1 second or less than 1 second or 30 seconds. Yeah, maybe something like this. So based on the situation that we need to adjust the number, like change it that it fits to the reality. So, and also we have one called the reverse POPC. So we if you learn, we install the Nginx. Sometimes if you see we see the Calvin, sometimes if you go to certain website, it will loading. So it's first it will go through this one. So it will help you to handle it and then forward to your website. So it's pretty easy. So if you want to try, also you can try to create if you have a web page, and then because they have a free account. I remember like once you create, they have limited, I think it's around 5 websites. So you can forward. So you can let them to help you to handle. Sometimes you can set only DNS or like the reverse proxy. So it can help you to resolve it. So they can handle the traffic like more efficient and provide additional security feature. So filtering, load balancing. Sometimes we are not a professional team, like we don't have that many resources to help. So at least they are the company provide the service like this, so we can use. And more we like for the very limited we setting, we can also have a called a web application firewalls WAF, and also content delivery network. Pretty a lot we using as CDNs to absorb the traffic. So CDNs like we try to setting more devices like handle all this. Okay. And then we can set the connection limits. So let's say how many numbers of concurrent connections. So we can set it using the like server max connection. So there's no answer say how many you should set, but really depends on your company size or your service. Okay, so based on this one, maybe you need to change it. Yeah. And then IP blacklist or whitelist. So we will monitor the income request. So this is a pretty common behavior we need to do. And also set the timeout. So we will set the timer to free the resources. If the request is taking too long, then we just stop it or terminate. Okay, so we can just preventing the hanging connection. Okay, and also we can monitor or set up the alert. So it's a pretty common practice. We'll do like logging. And for web programming, one of the software I would recommend is called a PM2. So it helps us like to running it. You can monitor. But for your class, you are not, for cybersecurity, you do not need to really implement all these things. But if you are working on other class, then you will have a chance to touch it. And logging library to check the traffic, and we can set the WAF, that's what we say. And also we have more things like you just need to know the terms for additional. So we have called the network security merge. So it's like we can implement the IDPS. So it's called the instruction detection prevention system, and then redundant system. So it can ensure the critical system at the redundancy and failover mechanism, and then the incident report planning. So always we do like, how can we doing the planning or report documents. And this will be for today, and I will. Okay, yeah, they do have a Minecraft have a DDoS. Okay, yeah, that's how they, because for Minecraft you're also hosting your server, because you can create your server, right? As well, I know, so you can let the people to access to yours. Because once you open your IP address to public, like saying your server, so they will know. And one of it I call the ident.me, so you can like check the domain, or sometimes you can check the registration where the actual host. So it's really, so once you open the public, like everything went out, like everything on the cloud, or like if you want to access others, everything will open. So everyone will be able to know your IP address, and then they can try to ping. So if you are using your home, like the router, they can do, yeah. If I know what's your IP address of your router, actually I don't know if somebody, you can do the experiment. You can try to ping your home router, but try not to do that, because for some hardware, so like we say, mainly taking the resources, right? But it did really happen because when they overload, especially a CPU like exceeds like 100%, so it generates heat. So if they didn't do the like cooling well, it really will burn your router. So it will really cost the hardware. Have you ever seen anything like this, like a spark or like the hardware? Okay. Lightning, yes. But also, yeah, it's really happened. Uh-huh.
Like networking stuff.
Mhm.
We have to swap it out when you, because eventually it have sparks shoot out the side of it.
Oh, okay, side, okay.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not so sure, like, is it because software code or like something, but also because when the hardware, like those chips overload, yeah, because the voltage is too high, also it will cause it. Yeah, so it will burn your circuit. So that's really happening. So it costs the cost, right? So right here will be we cover most of the attack, and then you going to use. Back to the before I start the new because we don't have enough time, but I will also try to start our class cover another type, like maybe pretty common. So I will start this one, but we don't have enough time. Just let you know for the project B, I will set the time and give an announcement. So try to form the group earlier. So yeah.
So I noticed, it doesn't look like the groups are accessible to us right now to actually like choose into.
Choosing, yeah, I will allow it. Let me see. You can around 2 to 3. Yeah, I don't think it would be really difficult, or like if you, let's say if you're, well, I know if you have to work by yourself, maybe you're not really good at programming or somehow that is maybe challenging. So I let you to working as a group, so we can discuss working together, like do some searching. Most of them, I will give you the sample code, but it's like how can you use those, like apply those code to like put it on your server and make it like running. Okay. It's not accessing. Let me see. I will go. I will check. So I will make sure you can able to access. But for today, time limit, I wish I can see. Time left. Okay, there's still some time. So for today, we will try to cover a little bit lecture. So is that, and then I will go back and double check if you can access to the group. Okay. Okay. So we need to so this is another really common malware. So this one we have 3 types of it. So like the 3G host and computer virus, ROM, and other type. So for you, you need to know the names of like possible, and then we know some like theories like this. Yep. Question? Okay, yeah. So then how can we like defense, like be careful, like so what are properties of those like malicious logic or like the chest? Okay. So there are mainly some instruction that cause a site security policy like to be violated. So there's a keyword of it. And we have so many, we are pretty common, but virus, and then the like cryptos, and then ransomware, like worms, 3G hosts. This one I think is like pretty common. You'll hear a lot. If I'm not so sure if explain this, the rootkit, the keylogger, adware, spyware, and cryptocurrency miner, and botnet. Okay, and actually start really long time ago. We do have it, so it's, at that time it's more like programs for Apple II. This way, not called a virus, but very experimental. And then, if I want to see how many of you did experience these things, like being hacked. Never. No. No. Oh, that's really. I did a lot. Did a lot. Because I when I have a habit like before, I really like to check the application, like download the software. Okay, that's what I did. So I want to see, some people maybe the forum, like the forum or sometimes some website. So they will share some software. So they say, okay, this one is really helpful for like maybe edit the image. This one is good for editing something, or this one is like good for something else. Okay, so I'm so curious. So every time I would download those things. But here's the process. Okay, when you start with like download the software, start with like when you open the web page, when you click on something. So remember, we do the store XSS. It pop out the alert, right? Sometimes it's some notification, but it doesn't care. So they were showing you, okay, they will put the download buttons like in somewhere, or like it will, when you click on it. So actually it's not the original button. So it will redirect you to another pages. Okay. And then it will come out, and sometimes say, congratulations, you're my customer. Have you seen this type? Okay, something like this. Or actually this one is the most easiest way, okay, to do that. And then when you click on try to install the application, when you follow some steps, also actually sometimes here's one thing, when they upload it, they can possible to inject or like add certain script functions. Maybe they will install something else, or they will open a backdoor, even a port on your computer. So they will execute some service. Like to user level, like when you look at it, you never know. You just know I click the next install, and then complete, done, right? And that's it. But in behind, maybe they will install one more service. Pretty common, maybe they will inject one more override the header of your browser. And sometimes I did download lots of applications, so they will try to install lots of even if you try to install some like virus protection software, have you ever done it? Sometimes we say those like in our English, but just like just a joke, but we saying all this software for protection itself also is a virus too. So yeah, and I did watch a video like the user try to install all these called the virus protection software. So they install all this like together at the same time. So they will report each other. Okay. So they will report each other. So I detect the virus, but there was another protection software. And then we just like keep try to block each other's. Okay, so you see it's really weird. So start from long time. That's my experience. Like I install the software, and then so my Windows, that time I use Windows a lot. And you will realize that why Windows always is the target of the hacker. Well, have you heard like some developer will say, okay, Mac is kind of like more safe. It do have a better, but why do you know why Windows is always the target on some Linux server? Have you ever think about it? Or like why it's so easy, like virus?
In Windows, a lot of like Windows applications, they talk more like deeper into the actual OS, don't they? But then like Mac apps are just very like surface level, or is that?
Not really, but more thing about the architecture. Actually, for Mac, because it's that Mac OS is their own operating system, so they didn't really integrate. So it's more like it's a closed environment. Okay, but for Windows, actually it combine different service and then allow other service like work application working together. So it's more like public, and also even maybe Microsoft is like when they launch Windows, they try to embed certain features. They may be purchased from some other company, or they just like took those source code and then just like integrate together. So actually, I say Windows is the whole structure maybe not that good enough, or like they have lots of things they are not aware. Okay, so backdoor, all those things. Okay, even sometimes Windows they don't know. Maybe when they try to integrate certain function, then they open certain ports for testing, but they forgot to close it, like from the source code. But when I bought your source code, I didn't really pay attention. I just like copy paste or like integrate together. So that's why. Also, you see, it's really, I think, why not still the majority, majority is still using Windows, right? So those are applications. That's why it's a huge target. When I give you some example, sometimes we will determine me is Windows, because Windows here's a concept you need to know. We never know your target is a Windows, Mac OS, or it's a server. Sometimes we never know. Maybe we just get the IP address, or it's just a router or IoT device. But we always try, like if you want to make it down, like the service down, maybe I use the DDoS. But if I want to inject something, second backdoor, like by setting virus, then maybe sometimes I need to detect that environment, right? But most of the those virus, they are working on the Windows, but not on the Mac OS, so it's not working. Okay, so if they have certain for attacker, if they really want to like focus on Mac and attack it, of course they can try to do something. This one time I just like restore my Mac OS, and then I download the Adobe. Okay, so it pop out the notification. Is that okay? You need to update your Adobe. Okay, yeah, because I just install it. Okay, so I take a browser and then I install it. So my Mac being hacked. Okay, so it install some application there. Okay, I have to like reinstall my like erase my hard drive and then restore the Mac OS again. So sometimes timing. So when you do click on the buttons, they will try to trace, or like maybe why the most of people being hacked or like install some virus application is like, okay, of course you download some open source, because sometimes lots of things open source. So when they have an open source, that means I can inject, let's say something on the GitHub. In GitHub you can download it and then add a function. So in the lab I will show one thing is like I'm using Python to simulate. I can read my files. I will before the class show you, but next time in the lab I will let you to do that. So, and if I put that Python, if I say maybe this Python is telling you to work on your assignment, let's say like this. So maybe function, there's a 10 functions, really long, or like multiple package folder. Then you won't really like take a look, like look deep into like each folder, what the source file, right? Or the what are the library. Sometimes they put into the library, they just call it. You never know. So this is how they really work. And so doing hacking, and this one will be the example, the treasure horse. So anybody know this one? I think it's pretty popular, or like anybody can share, right? With this.
I mean, it's a program, like, it does what it says it does, but it also has something hidden in it that does something that you don't know.
Yeah,
Like, so if it's, you download I don't know, like a radio app or something like that, but then it also has something random in there that like will scrape through your data on your computer or something. So
yes, back, yeah. So mainly, if you know the history, like what it happened, so I don't have to really say, but yeah, so you just like they try to make the horse, right? So send it, so they send it, and then all the soldiers like hiding inside. So I think it's like at night, right? I think we met at night, so they came out, and then that's how it works. So the main idea is like we try to hide it in something, so you're thinking it's safe. Okay, so that's like really most common way is like I try to download something open source application file. This is what like I suffered a lot before, but to me I always like I reinstall my Windows OS once per week. Yeah, but that time I just want to expert, yeah, a lot. Restore. So you try not to keep anything or make sure it's clean. Okay. So for this one, it's just like override the purpose. So we know the user and then convert the purpose like unknown to server. So TOJ. So like this one. And we will try to like put some scripts or like try to list the files in the directory or like create some set UID shell. So if you if you remember the set UID assignment, what we talk about it. And another one I mentioned a lot is called a backdoor. So backdoor just avoid the normal login process. So we leave a backdoor open. And often installed through the malware. So those like exploit the backdoor created by others. Okay, so it's possible. So sometimes we have like a special backdoor. So OverVersion Linux kernel include a backdoor, or sometimes like part of the app they will try to create. So let's say we have the free games and some like private software modify, but provide backdoors. So all these things we try to do. If you remember, we set the UFW, the firewall, that one. So set the port, right? So we can do it in this way. Set a port, and then that's one part I was showing or let you to try is how can you run this Python file with the file list and then send it back to yourself. Okay, so that's what you I will because the time I will cover this one. We call the red. So remote access. So this one is like remote administration tools. So we have ultimate backdoors and administrative control of the host. So we will install like servers or any host, and then we can connect it. Okay, and why not? Especially most of the IoT devices. If you install some like Wi-Fi camera, have you ever think about if you didn't? Okay, to me, if you are kind of like sensitive to this like part of thing. So when you install the camera, okay, install it, and then if you don't set the port forwarding or something like this, but if you install the app, you're still able to access to your camera installed at home from the web outside. Then how do you think why it works? Do you get my question? Like because let's say I have I purchased a camera come from Amazon. Okay, so those brand they may be just fine, right? But your some company may be popular. I think Blink. Yeah. So they are like it's a big company. Okay, so once you put it on, pop in, connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, and then you can install your app, download it, like connect to your camera. So if you go out, open the app, you can see it. Okay. But there's something is weird. Like to me, is like thinking, that's not good. Personally, to me, okay. So what's that kind of things weird? Like if I didn't set anything on my router, well, mainly because the first layer is like my router, like my firewall, my port, and then it should access to my internet. But if you use their app, After you like install it, connect to your Wi-Fi, then you can access your camera. What's the risk? And then why is not safe? Have you think about this? Have you watched some news like they will I think this I forgot when, I think it was last year I watched it. So there's a hacker tried to like steal all the camera, save the video, like all the house, and then just upload share. So here are the things, because let's suppose that in regular way, like when we configure a firewall router access, if we don't set a port. So suppose the regular way how it access, but we sometimes say we try to bypass it, or like how can we do the remote access? That means like I don't have to care like which port you open for me. I don't have to care like what's the layer of the permission like this, but I can directly send this resources like back. So maybe I have an API in behind, or I have a streaming URL like what they put for the your device. So I was streaming all the video to my server. So I kind of like bypass your port. Okay, so that's why you don't have to do any setting, right? If you need to do it, most of the software, maybe the camera I'm using, maybe you are not allowed to do it this way. So if I want to access my own camera, suppose I need to maybe set a DNS to my router's IP address, and then I need to open the port for this one so I can access it. So it's more like, okay, then I know my home is more secure. So I only have one door. That means if I'm not doing it this way, that means I maybe have a window, maybe I have another door, say I can bypass. They can like just like sending data out. Yeah, so I do have a door right here, it's locked, but my window is open. Yeah, so this one is the risk. And for some of the software is that I bring the software, what's the software? The camera. The camera is right here. And then when you install a camera, then I will create window without any lock. But of course, like for those companies, they should have some like security like protection. They will make sure this access I'm not able to like attack by other attacker, hacker, something like this. They have a visibility to do this, but then you will know that actually they try to create remote access for them. So or sometimes they can check the status of your hardware. Then how can they do that? So we always need to think or be aware why the devices, they can check it. You install at home. They don't know your actual IP. You didn't provide all the information, right? You didn't set the firewall. Then how can they monitor your device? They know, okay, it's alive, it's working. Then why? Because they try to send in all this information. In a correct purpose, like when they use this information correctly, it's okay. But they want to like use it to steal your like personal information, sensitive data, it works. Yeah. So that's like it's all possible to doing this. So we can just allow the hacker to connect to the remote software. So we can do it like this. We can just using Trojans, like let you download it, and then I will set up the backdoor so it's okay. And then I can connect to your computer, and then maybe I can monitor, I can see your screen. I know what you're doing. So it's all possible. So we can control the webcam, copy files, and back other we're taking screenshot. Okay, so all these are possible. Gemini's. So this one is one of the Android cell phones. So we can place it in several Android phones like markets, forum. So when they run it, so install it. And sometimes we don't know. That's why also here's the same things why Android is easy being hacked.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Like iPhone and iOS is all native. to
Yeah,
itself,
native, yeah.
And then Android is Google phones, Samsung phones.
Yeah, or Android. So because it's open, so that's why the structure itself we call the threat. The threat is like, okay, all the potential risks, right? So because the architecture, because like for Android, we are combining of something. Everything is open source. So that means that I can look at your structure and then I can try to find somewhere I can inject or add some certain file. So let's say I don't for me, just like for my personal interest, I like to change the Android phone to install another OS. Okay, that's what I did. Even though I using iPhone, but like for another, I have an Android phone, just all. So originally it's like maybe Android, and then some people will say, you can use Samsung and then install a Google Pixel OS on there. So it's possible. Okay. If you're interested, you can study about it. So you need to override the hardware, the kernel, and then put it. But here's the thing: when you download the OS, like some open resources, you never know. Maybe they will open the back door like this. Then when you try to input your credit card information, say a payment, they will send it to the user. Okay, so just be aware or be careful. Like one thing is about the source where you download those application software. And because the time, I quickly to do a demonstration, and next time back to the lab, I will let you to do it. Okay, so right here I have a code. Stop right here. Okay. So, and okay. So why not I generate a file? This one just really basic, really simple. So I will read it. Most of the common way we are doing is I will use an OS, maybe I save a file. We'll based on this one to modify and try to post the information. Okay, so right here, just like we access the OS and then output the test file. So this one is not really harmful. So I just like with the path, and then when I read it, then I will create. Okay, so create a file right here, and then I will check, and then with certain content. So you see. Okay, and when you look at it, say, okay, it's just a Python file. So if I don't execute it, it's fine. We, of course, for testing. But if I hear a project, like let's say I want to download a project, open source, okay, and then you download it. But when I include this part in part of your library, you never look at it. Then when you like execute this one, then we will read you. I like this one is just a first step. I can create a file, but I can actually, for more advanced, I can even like try to read your file list right here, and I can detect your system and checking. So I will show you. No. Okay. See this one. Change something. Try detection. Okay, so this one I try to like part of it I try to detect the environment and then create. So right here I will create an image file, picture right here. So it's just an image like this. Okay, so that means like I can access to all your path and then create a file, no matter just a text file, image file, or I can pretend. Even I can pretend it's a PDF. Like let's say I will share a document to you. You can download the document. So it's a PDF, but actually it's just Python code when you download it and execute. So I don't care. Like at the moment you realize it, but when you double click execute it, I already finished certain scripts. Okay, so I already did what I want. Even though you already realize it, it's too late. If you couldn't able to find like what kind of things I install on your Windows server, only one way, you have to reinstall the whole system, erase everything. So that's good. And here's the demonstration for today, and for the next lab, then I will go for details. Yeah.
So I actually had another question about a couple of the, missions, questions.
Yeah, sure, you can ask. Yeah.
Well, this for like some specific ones, like the one.
Okay, yeah, I can make it capture too. Let me see. Bill, when you ask, then we can. When did I put? Maybe I just put it in an assignment. Okay. Right here. Okay,
So number eight.
8. Okay. Okay.
So I know that's a special permission, because it's inherent or the parent director. But then the owner can log that. So I think so does that mean that the owner would have full permission, or is that just right?
This one is no special. If you still remember, you asked the question about set UID, group ID. Okay. Maybe if you confused. Okay. As what I say, the script is like for set UID is about the execute, like who can the owner of it can like work on this file, right? So it's not applied on the folder. So if I say something like this as a directory, so you don't have to consider the set UID or set group ID.
But if the directory inherits the root of the parent directory, then that would be a set root, because that's like a secondary function of the second.
But that one is not applied for the directory. Okay.
From what I looked up, it's if you do set group ID, then it makes it to where files will execute as the group, no matter who's using it, is what I read, and then the directory will inherit the owner and the root. Oh,
It will. Okay, yeah.
I got it.
No. Yes, correct. But okay. But this one really depends on situation. I cannot say you're wrong because it can do it in this way. Yeah. But try not to confuse you or like for this situation. I don't really say require you to say okay, it really inherit or like something using the set group ID. If I really need to using group ID, I will tell you to do it. Yeah, because this one may be confuse you, but I didn't mention about it, then you don't have to consider this one.
Okay, so then how do you know? So you want to directory where all the files and directories. So how do you get that part of the question without setting the group ID?
Normally, actually, this one is tricky. So normally when we create inheritance, so I say inheritance actually it's just the condition, but we don't have to okay, I say for directory, we don't have to for this one. Where I just then need to showing the file permission numerics in solid way. So of course, like if you want to really set it, it's okay. But this one is more like I want to just let you to have only the most of the time maybe inverting. So most of that.
No, when I was trying to show you this, like, let me tell you.
I will so that
Visual representation of what I was trying to do.
I love
It shows documents. CSCI, whatever. Yeah. It shows me entirely new.
So it says only.
Which is why I ran into so many problems, like, it wasn't even I was running into problems. It's what we're doing.
Yeah, well, we-
Class, the problem was that I'm directing. I guess so. I mean, I've disabled it, so nothing is actually on the cloud, but the deal is at this point,
I'm sure it's gonna come.
there's already much stuff saved as opposed to directory, so at this point, at least for this semester, I'm stuck with it, otherwise all my stuff is.
I thought it was gonna happen.
We should get. It's OneDrive copies was on desktop. Save it to the cloud. It's not like Google Drive where you just put it in
So
the
that,
cloud. I copied it.
Yeah, I mean, like that OneDrive directory I've got, for example.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff saved to it that's not even backed up to OneDrive because I have disabled the actual OneDrive feature.
Right.
Directory exists. I can only say, very, but it's just like people assume maybe. Normally, we don't have rights, and that's it. So that's why you just like maybe in this assumption, but if you, do the,
Cause I ended up in
Yeah.
275 when I got it. But then I guess it doesn't mention the other, so would other just be no permission?
yeah, no other, if I didn't, mention it, normally would be no. And if, yeah, good, for this one, if you think like in progress, and then you can put your answer, if I look at it in section, it's okay, yeah. Good, for this one, I just thinking, I didn't really, thinking to let you, to use the set good ID for this question.
Okay.
Yeah, because like the first 18, I didn't really like add in the set UID into ID. I think 17, yeah, 17, yeah, the first one. I think only the last few questions is like there's not specific.
That's because my,
Yeah, so maybe.
and there's the one. Important, yeah, 'cause only the owner can create it. That would be. That's the-
Yeah, sometimes the owner can.
Yeah, so then that's the special.
Yeah. Okay, so sometimes the create is we'll use the set, but for modify, sometimes come same meanings, right? Like, yeah, modify is, and then like same we using as the right, so that's why. Yeah, for question 8, I remember I just want to just like make it simple, but of course, like if you're thinking about security inherit, and of course, you're welcome to do that. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.